Hi everybody, it's me George here. So I've gotten a comment from a viewer of mine, and he said from Joal McAllister said, "Hi George, your UI is really nice. Can I ask the specifics of your setup?" I've had other people ask me about this, and I appreciate Joe for asking that, and I decided why not do a video on my desktop. And I think it's awesome. So I prefer XFCE. That's my main desktop here. My preferred desktop environment. I do have another computer desktop, and I use i3 on that for my other development. But for me, XFCE, I like the GTK environment, the look and feel. It's just easier to configure. I'm not going to sit there and have like KDE and change every little aspect window and highlight and stuff that you need on there. That's crazy. All right. Do you really need to do that? Eye candy stuff? No. All right. XFCE does it. So let's take a look. This is XFCE 4.12, which is the latest that I know that we have right here. 4.12. Arch Linux is my distro of choice. Window Manager, XFWM. On the top, I got my panel. We got the logout. We got all the notifications here. We got the Solus. If you have Logitech mouse, that little nub thing, that's what that does. This is the simple screen recorder. We got PalMac right here. It tells you about the update manager. If you have any updates, it goes red. If you have any updates, white means you're all good. If you also right click, there's also the package manager where you could search as well. This is NVDoc, so if you have an NVIDIA video card, this is a great notification you should download. It should be available through Ubuntu or Debian's distros, as well as Arch through the AUR. And basically, if you hover over it, it'll tell you the temperature. If you right-click, it also will tell you the temperature and also the driver. And quick link to the settings. Network Manager, pretty simple. I'm not going to go over that. This is Comp Tray. This will give you the ability to stop composition. As you see, compositing down right here is disabled. You see no effects or anything. I turn it back on. Ooh, transparency and all this little highlight thing like how Apple does it. This is planked down here. And then this is Clip It for your, paste, paste and copy and paste kind of thing, management right here. Time and date, click it, you get the calendar. Volume. If you right click it and go into properties, you could change which card, which track, and stuff like that, which I think it's, or you could run the audio mixer right here. So right here, and then you go through the sound levels and stuff and balance. Real simple. This is for notes that is built into XFCE as part of the plugins. So you write yourself notes. And then the weather. Yes, I live in Franklin Park. I have nothing to hide. Even though I doxed myself, I don't care. I have nothing to hide, folks. But and then if you right click, go into properties, you could search and change different units, appearances, scroll, all those fun little stuff. If you right click on the panel, go to panel preferences, you could change the panel, the look and feel, add panels, remove panels, the appearances, what items you want. Also, if you right click, go add new items, you got other plugins in here. Before, it used to be like, what was it? Whisker menu, you had to install separate. Now it's included. If you put in the XFCE-goodies, you'll get additional panel items in here. So it's good to have a lot to choose from. Not as much as maybe KDE, but good enough. It has more than what you need. Whisker menu, pretty simple. Search on the top. I have the functions on the top right hand side, the menu and the submenu. My name in here, you can expand it out if you want to, as big as you want or as small as you want. Real simple. It's not bad. I like it. It's better than the traditional one that comes with it, because normally you would have the traditional, let me see. Yeah, here it is. This is the one that comes with it. You click it, and then you have the regular menu with the other sub-menus and stuff like that. I don't. I like the Whisker menu. A lot of people do. It's a really good menu. It's one of the better ones that I've seen out there. I do have desktops, icons on my desktop. That's me. That's my preference. Some people like to have it. Some people don't, but that's me. The wallpaper, I do change it every once in a while. For now, I like the blue one that comes traditionally with XFCE. I always like blue theming and stuff, blue and gray. So let's go into the settings. Let's go into appearances. I use the Arc Dark theme. I like it. It's not too dark. The darker one, a lot of people like this one. I like the regular Arc Dark theming. I think it's a better theming because you still have the white and the dark all mixed in together with the blue. For icons, Numix-sqaure. There are other ones out there. There's the circle and the regular no one, but I'm a Numix fan. I always like Numix, and lately Numix-sqaure has made it easier to install, because before, for a good amount of time, you couldn't install Numix-sqaure. You had to go out there and find the zip file and then, unzip it and then put it in the icon directory. Here, through the AUR, they fixed that issue, and now you can install Numix-sqaure straight out. But I do have the zip file just in case, if through the AUR it goes bad. Font, I have the Liberation Sans Bold at 10, and the rendering at slight and the RGB traditional stuff. Settings, I have them all clicked on. Desktop, like I said, the one that comes with XFCE traditional. I can find other pictures and put it in there and shuffle and change it, and that's the one thing I like. They have a really great function for wallpaper and setup. The menu, I disabled the include application menu on the desktop. Right click, that's where OpenBox comes in handy, where it's here on the side. If I click it, see there, applications, it's like the old traditional one. That's what that is, and that's what makes OpenBox, which is included as part of XFCE as well as LXDE. Icons, default icons, I have them turned on. Yeah, some people don't. You go in here and you just turn them off. That's all. Change the icons in the way how it is. You could change, ask for the name or minimize or not or whatever. It's up to you. But that's my setup. Let's see, Windows Manager. I have the Arc-Dark. I disabled this thing right here, the shade. I never understood that. And you could change the window of the look and feel of that. That's what I like about the Window Manager in here. You do other things like define shortcuts for window management, actions, focus, and advanced. I leave this all as is. The Windows Manager tweaks. If you go to accessibility, I disable use mouse wheel on title bar to roll up the window. I just don't use that. disable that. Workspace, use the mouse wheel on the desktop to switch workspaces. I don't. On i3, I use workspaces. On XFCE, I don't. That's why I have it removed by default, which comes included. I disable it. Under placement, minimize size of window to trigger smart placement. I have it set to large. And then I disable compositor because I use Compton. So, but if you do use the compositor that comes with XFCE, I prefer Compton. It's a better compositor than the one that XFCE. You don't have any window tearing or video tearing. It's just a lot better with Compton. That's my preference. Keyboard. The only shortcut other than the defaults that come included is the calculator that I have it set for calculator, which is the GTK calculator, basically. It's the only thing I add. The layout, I do have it set for the Logitech cordless desktop because that's the keyboard I have. Let's see, mouse and touchpad. The only thing I changed is under themes. I like the Menda from Manjaro. That theming, I always like that. It's basically the breeze, but with the green and orange look. I don't know, for some reason I always like that one. It's really nice. And it changes. I don't understand. It has this issue still with GTK 3 for some reason. I have to do this every so often. I gotta find I still haven't found a way to fix it. Under power management, under systems, I disable lock screen. And then under display power management, I make sure that's still turned on. And it says switch off after, put to sleep after, and blank after. I have it set to never. And then under devices, it's just the keyboard and mouse. That I just leave that alone. And under session startup, I do have added things like NVDoc, the compositor, Compton and Compton Tray, and Solaris. I had to add in here. Clip it added automatically by default, so I didn't have to worry about that. I added Plank with Plank config. And then my apps, just go over real quick. Things like Atom, Cherry Tree for note taking, Atom for development, for editing. Disk. This is the GNOME disk. This is better in my than some of the others out there. It just the way the interface, the look and feel. Anytime I need a USB thumb drive and load a distro on there, this is the app that I use. Let's see what else. There's Maps. This is the GNOME Maps, which I like. I think it's not bad. It uses Open. I think it uses Open Street or something like that. I think it's Open Street, and it's not bad. Oh, that's not where I am exactly. Just to let you know, it's because of the IP address is right here located. So don't think you got my exact address. That's why I wasn't worried about showing that. Let's see. There's Plank. Shutter for screen capturing, Solaris for the mouse, and then there's Weather, the GNOME Weather, Chicago here, 30. Well, it's better than it was, close to like 2 degrees just days ago. Oh God, here in Chicago, but I love this city. Development, Atom, Bluefish editor, Bluefish is for web design, Genie, IDE. Glaze to create GTK apps. Qt, Sublime Text, that's my preferred text editor. Lot of stuff. I have a lot of stuff on here. List packages. I have a lot of packages and themes, and yeah, this is the preferred text editor, Sublime Text. Doesn't matter. Linux, Mac, Windows, this is the one that most people use. And I agree, it's a great text editor. I think that's it for that. Education, Libreoffice, Math, it's part of the Libre suite. Games, mostly it's Mindtest. I've been having problems with Steam, with Civ 5 for some reason. I played Civ 5 through Windows. I have a dual boot, so I go through Windows on this one. But all the other ones, Sudoku, Poker, TH, Texas Hold'em, Bejeweled, T-World, Super Tux 2, but I can install the other games for Steam. It's just I never got around to do it because I had to redo it a couple of weeks ago. 2 weeks ago or a week ago. So graphics, Agava. This is great for color selection if you want to get the different codes, hex codes or the 6-digit codes, RGB codes for colors if you're doing HTML, CSS, or web design, or any other app. Blender 3D modeling and stuff like that. Also a great video editor. It's not bad. Diagram, build diagrams for projects and stuff. GIMP, photo editing, just like Photoshop. Inkscape for vector graphics, icons, kind of like Illustrator from Adobe. Pinta, this is a lesser, easier version of GIMP. I prefer this for people starting out before going to GIMP. GIMP's quite advanced. Rosetto comes included. Shotwell for my photo library and stuff like that. XFCE for scanning. Internet Deluge for torrent downloads. FileZilla for uploads and to servers. Firefox and Google Chrome are my two preferred web browsers. I do have Opera, and that's like a backup to these two. HexChat for IRC. Liferia for RSS news feeds. Menda is for remote desktop connections, so if I need to remotely go into people's desktops. I have a lot. I just don't want to click and show you all of them, and I don't want to mess around with the blurs and stuff like that. Skype, everybody knows what Skype is. And then Wireshark for IP testing, leaks and tracking, and stupid Windows scammers who try to call my place and try to tell me that my Windows registration has expired, which there is no such thing, and I try to find where they're at. Multimedia Audacity is a great audio editor. It has some fancy features. I know a lot of people on the Windows side that uses it for their podcasts and videos. They'll have their own separate video, and then their audio is separate, and they'll have a separate audio recorder, and then they'll take it and upload it and put in the filters and stuff like that, and effects. They have a lot of different effects in here. This is a great app for that. Something to start out with, and I use it. Audio mixer, that's the Pavi control for Pulse Audio. Clemintine is my preferred audio player. The one thing I like about Clemintine, it does a really great job of audios playing, and also, why isn't it? I've been having a really hard time lately with Clemintine with loading audio, but that's okay. You have other things where you have internet apps that you could go to listen, like Icecast. To me, is probably one of the best ones out there. You could go in here. They have so many different genres here. I mean, look at that. Clubbing, cool, Cuba, DJ, Fiji, Grun, Mix, Motown, Piano, Zen. Oh my God, it keeps on going and going. They just have so many different types of music in here. I use this when I have friends coming over. And look at, for pop, they got so many radio stations and music channels. It's not funny, but you know what I'm saying. It has a lot of internet functionalities built into it. You got devices, so if you hook up other devices like your CD or your phone or MP3 player and stuff like that, it's just an awesome app. I prefer that with most others. There is another one that I like, and it's Lollypop. Now, Lollypop is a little bit more general in certain ways. The reason why is because I have it on a separate drive, and I don't have that drive active. That's why it's not showing it. So you will see these big icons all over here with all the different music, and you can play it. It's a more GTK clean look. See, I have to enable storage right here, and it's not. But anyways, actually, let me enable it. There we go. So if I go to Lollypop, come on. This is the problem I've been having with Lollypop too as well. Let's go other location, storage. There we go. No? There we go. There we go. I gotta find a better way to get this hard drive to start up. There is a way to do it. I'm just lazy to do it. I just want to show you Lollypop real quick. There you go. See that? Album art and everything, preview and play album, pen, change artwork, play, and so on. I'm not going to play it because I don't want to get copyright infringed. But as you can see, it's a great app. There's LMMS. This is great if you want to produce nice little tones and music. Excellent app for that. Easy Tag for MP3 files or meta file type of editing. Change the information. GUVC View for webcam. Handbrake for transcoding, change it from, let's say, AVI to MPEG-4, stuff like that. Kdenlive video editing. It may not be the best, but it's good enough. I think a lot of people complain way too much on video editing. It's better than most other ones out there on Linux. It may not be like Premiere on Adobe from Windows or Mac, but it does the job. It could do a lot of good stuff. I mean, there are others out there that you could probably use, but I like Kdenlive. It works for me. Mix is great as a DJ mixer. So if you're a DJ, you have a lot of music, you want to switch from one music to another, this is a great app, so even if you have friends coming over, you could be one. You know, that's kind of cool. MPV is a video player. It plays videos and audios. You just drop it in here, or you just right click and play it. It's probably the least memory resource and does the best. Like, I have never had issues with MPV for videos. Still one of my favorites. OBS, doing live live streaming on YouTube or Vimeo or any other service or live stream. Or you just want to record and you could make changes and add other pictures and stuff. I see a lot of people using OBS. Why? Because it's free. And a lot of people both on Linux, Windows, even Mac uses it. Simple Screen Recorder, which I'm using right now. SMPlayer is an alternative to VLC. So if you use VLC, SMPlayer is very much the same. It's a much better one. It plays all types of formats like VLC. Oh God, I hate when it does that. And I've never had issues. I prefer this over VLC, but the one thing that VLC does do really well is streaming. Even though that SMPlayer can do that too, but there are more channels out there for streaming for VLC than SMPlayer. So, I don't know, I may install VLC, but for now I prefer SMPlayer. And then WinFF for FFmpeg, GUI interface if you want to create MPEG-4 videos and stuff like that. It's real simple. And then there's XFWM for CD burning. Office suite, the whole Libreoffice suite, nothing else special. Calibria, this is for ebooks. I'm not going to show it, I don't want to get in trouble. It's just, I just don't want to take the chance to show it. Calendar and all those other Office stuff. Under others is just the NVIDIA settings. This is the settings app for Linux, for NVIDIA. Yes, I want it equipped. And then settings, there's just so many settings stuff in here. Just like on the main settings panel. Pretty much the same. Under systems, add, remove, PalMac, bulk rename if you have a lot to rename. Grub customizer, this is something I prefer with a lot of people. You want to customize the look and feel when you reboot, and instead of having that old terminal look, you could put photos, pictures, and stuff. You could edit the actual configuration of the different distros that you may have. Like I have here Windows 10 and Arch. I could configure that. This general settings, previously booted, stuff like that. Grub customizer to customize your grub settings. HTOP, pretty simple. The reason why it says 890 is because of this. You can see that right now. Look at simple screen recorder. SSR, it's taking 320 megabytes. So it's around 500. But there's still other stuff that I'm booting up with it. So if you put bare bones, it's more in the 300 range. But anyways, that's HTOP. Managed printing for cups. That's the NVIDIA dock tray right there. VirtualBox. I had a lot more before, but I deleted them because I needed the space. OpenBox is OpenBox. I'm not going to go over that. Print settings. This is the print settings configurator. It's a GTK app. If you want to configure. Oh, I didn't add my printer. I got to I gotta set that up. I thought I had it set up, but right there, if you have multiple printers online or through USB, that's where you would go. Task Manager. This is the XFCE version. And then you have Xterm and UXterm, and then you got the terminal. And that's it. And that's my setup. Every once in a while I'll change it. I'll change the theme, change the icons. But I do get a lot of people who are like, wow, I like that. And what I should do is maybe go to my GitHub and put all this information there to make it easier for all of you out there. So how long? Ooh, 30 minutes. That's too long. Okay. I don't like to do them that long. Anyways, that's my setup. I hope that was helpful, and people out there that are interested in knowing what I have set up, as well as Joal McAllister. There you go. That is my specifics and setup. Hope that was helpful, and it would be nice to get a chance to know what everybody else has set up. Well, what type of desktop environment, Windows Manager, theme, icons, some of the apps. You don't have to list them all. Just what your setup is. It may be a picture or something. That would be cool. That'd be awesome if you can. Post it in the comments down below. If you put a link, I will enable that you could add links. But if not, if you can't add it, put spaces. So put W space, W space, W space, and then so on and so on. So this way you can fool YouTube comments. You know, people say, well, I could disable, web links. Well, there's a way to get around it. Trust me. There are always ways to get around. So put a image link, like Imager or something like that. That would be great. But I'll try to see if I could get all this information on GitHub. So I'll put a brief description in the notes down below. Please give my video a thumbs up. Let me know what you think. And I will see you guys next time. Take care. Stay warm. Peace.